there is a joyful reason to be here today on this special day, June 25th. What is so special about today, June 25th, Jan?
Well, it's International Joy Day. Woohoo!
Wait, what? Okay, so I get, there are all these international days because I'm big on we're planning for International Child Free Day, which is happening on August 1st, so we're big on that. Why does International Joy Day speak to you? What is it all about? And I guess before we get to that, hi y'all, I'm Tiffany, your hostess, and I am joined by our Joy Alchemist, Jan. So, what is that all about? First, tell us who you are, what you do, and then we'll get into today's special day.
Awesome. Thanks, Tiffany. Well, my jam is joy, and I am known as the Joy Alchemist. And yet, ever since I was a little girl, I always knew there was something magical about joy. And I get on stages and I now write books, and I am all about sharing the power of joy because it's what we forget. It's what we think is a someday thing. And especially as entrepreneurs, it gets pushed aside all the time. And I'm here because I would say I'm probably the world's biggest joy advocate because I'm all about the fact that, like, we're actually here to experience a joyful life. And spoiler alert, joy is actually your secret superpower to being more effective in all areas of your life. And so today, being International Joy Day, was the day I'm launching my first solo book that I'm so thrilled about. I'm so excited to be here talking to you about, called Joy Anyway. And I got to say, like, we were giggling, we were having trouble getting the streaming going. And this is such like a perfect, I was like, we didn't script it. I just want to make sure everyone knows that. We did not script it. However, it was perfect because it was such a perfect example of joy anyway, for us to still be in our joy. And I gotta say, like, we both, before we went live, we're like, what's going on? And it's like, let's just let this be joyful. And that's when the stream started to work. And it's just, joy actually helps move things because it is a level of consciousness almost to enlightenment. And that's why we care about it. And yet it's really easy to get lost in life and life circumstances. And that's what my book's about. It's about dealing head on with adversity. So, like, the subtitle of the book is Transform Adversity Through Audacious Joy. And that's exactly what we did this morning getting into the live stream. And I get into all different aspects of the
So
book.
before you get into
personal...
let's
yeah.
Before we get into the book yet,
Yeah.
I know we want to talk. We're super excited, to talk about it. But I want to just even take a step back because I think sometimes entrepreneurs feel like I've chosen this, and most entrepreneurs don't pick, I want to be an entrepreneur because I want to work all the time. Because I want to have all this on my shoulders. They do it for a vision of life, but then it gets to them and they just get mired down in the day to day. And I would think that the majority of entrepreneurs that I talk to, a lot of them are still struggling with, it needs to be about the business or I can enjoy life. There's not this harmony of let me do both.
Right. Oh, it's such a good point. And, like, yeah, what was coming up to say is the fact that, like, entrepreneurship chooses you, right? Like, it's becomes, I even talk about this in the book, the choiceless choice. Like, you can't deny that you're meant to be an entrepreneur. And how do we stand in this space of, like, you are the business, you are the creator, you're also, especially starting out, you're the executor, you're all the departments. And so
you're all the stuff and the stuff you didn't know you needed to do.
Yes. And I love that you brought that out. Like, it's like, you're not the business and then you don't go home and you be, spouse or friend or daughter or whatever. Like, the joy piece that I'm about is, like, you are who you are in all areas of your life. And the more that you can understand how to own that, even in your business, even when you're not hitting your numbers or, technology's going awry, like, it's so important to understand that for you to be able to sustain as an entrepreneur. And to actually succeed as an entrepreneur, you do actually need your joy. And that's where I'm like, success is not success if you don't have your joy.
There are plenty of miserable people who have well-running businesses. But to me,
Right.
it's like I was watching, all right, so I have a guilty pleasure of 90 Day Fiance. And it was talking about in your relationship, do you want money or do you want love? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, no, and I'm like, no. Like, life isn't meant to be. You have to suffer something missing. Like, to me, even when there's technology issues, is there joy in that? Because, if we hadn't had the technology issues, we probably would have had a little bit more nerves and how's this going to go, and would have overthought it. And instead, technology came in and said, hey, y'all, pay attention, be present. And so we get to have the joy of having the conversation without the, ramp up of it.
Totally.
So y'all,
totally.
Before we get into, I'm going to ask Jan about the book because that's why we are here to talk about it. I do want to share. So she mentioned it is 99 cents today. That is not an all the time thing, right, Jan? They really need to take advantage if they want to get it for the 99 cents.
Correct. Yeah. It's the Kindle version. It's the only version currently available. And it is, brand spanking new.
Love it. Today. Yeah, today is like the official day, right?
Today's the day. And that's why I was definitely leaning into the International Joy Day as a commemorative and inspiration to get this message out there, because I think that's the other thing we as entrepreneurs, it's like we're getting ready to get ready. And it's like, let's get this going. And so thank you again already for having me on the show. Yes. And it's awesome to all of y'all who are tuning into today for this authentic, joyful peace, because that's the other thing. I love that you were saying that. Like, technology was our invitation to find joy anyway. And in that process, we got to be even more authentic. And that's, a total sidebar conversation. And yet, entrepreneurship and success, and I believe especially as speakers and thought leaders, the more authentic we are, the more influential, the more impactful, the more charismatic, the more magnetic. Like, let's bring it on.
Yes, I think the more authentic we can be, the more we attract the right people into our world. So I'm going to ask y'all, I know you're dying, let's tell us about the book. But first, I just want to make sure. Yeah. So wherever you're watching this on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, in the description has this link. So you certainly can go to the fancy link that's here on the screen, or you can just go to the description, click on it. It'll take you right to our book. It's 99 cents today. It will get delivered. That's not it. I had it up a second ago. It's interesting because I bought it. So it was hard for me to buy this book for a few silly reasons that have nothing to do with Jan. Like, I got the message and I'm like, okay, let me go buy it. But for whatever reason, my Amazon on my phone, the app, it won't let me buy digital orders. Like, I can buy hundreds or thousands of dollars worth of stuff off of Amazon, but it doesn't want me to buy digital orders. So I'm like, fine. I got in my computer, buy the book. And then a few hours later, I was like, okay, let me go start reading a few pages of the book to do before. And it's like, credit card declined. And I'm like, oh yeah, because it's got my credit card from last year. Like, it's been expired, but I just haven't changed it. So I went in, but you can't change. I can change it on the app, but I can't change it on the digital order. So I had to go in to my computer. Now, the good thing is the 17 expired cards on my Amazon account are now gone. So they're all cleaned out. And I'm also like, okay, how many of these are still valid for my husband? And like, sometimes I order for my brother and my mother-in-law, because that's how you do on Prime, because free shipping. And I'm just like, well, now I no longer have to worry about this ever happening again, because it goes to an active card. But I'm just like, all right, so technology, apparently there's something in this book that I really need, but there needs to be more to the journey to get here than just let me open it on my Kindle app. It needs to be something. And now I get to share this joyful story of why in the world do I have to, like, digital orders? I don't get that. Like, everything else I can order on my Amazon app, but not Kindle books. Anyway, sorry, y'all. Tiffany tangent. It is time for us to go to Jan and have, just share in 2 or 3 minutes what this book is about, who should be reading it, all of that fun stuff.
Well, and I love the Tiffany tangent here because, again, it's the perfect example of everyday kind of funk that we have to deal with, that we get to deal with. And I love that you kind of put that twist on it too about that it was like an aha, like, ooh, there's something in here for me. So I might call you out on, I would love to hear what that was. And yet the thing of this book and why this matters so much, and I might get moved here, is I believe I came into this world to share this message that no matter how funky, and this is like everyday funk that we're talking about here, everyday adversity that we're talking about here, and yet I get into the book of the really hard stuff because I'm about not joy as a fluffy, happy, nice today conversation. I'm about joy as being the solution, as being the basis for you to be able to have a cry because you just lost someone dear to you and to see the beauty in life and feel the joy of the fact that you're still here and appreciate that you're still here. Let's make the most of this life. And so the book is about a journey of going into different aspects of how joy carries you through the challenges of life. And it carries you through, especially because we're here talking to entrepreneurs, all the challenges of entrepreneurship. Because there are so many downs, but then there's so many ups. And I get into that too, that the stronger, more resilient you are, that when you lean into joy through the tough times, that energy of joy carries you. I even talk about it like it's the secret to grit, people. That as you learn to foster and harness the joy, you actually move through the glitches and the challenges faster. You are able to, yeah.
And I'm glad you bring this up because sometimes it feels like, okay, I remember there was this gal in GAs, so Girls in Action, Southern Baptist Church, and like always smile, like permanently smile on her face, but it just felt like it was always like there was no ups and downs. And so it sounds like it's not that we need to be joyful 100% all the time. Nothing bad ever happens to us. It's that the challenges come up, and because we're embracing the joy, it helps us get through that.
Absolutely. It helps us get through that. And then even it's not like someday when everything's fixed and figured out. It's literally, and I have so many stories of myself and clients throughout the book of it's finding joy in the mess, in the moment that gives a little bit of lift and hope. And that's where, like, even in the description we put in there that it's a big message of hope, and besides being one giant pep talk, it's actually authentic joy that we're talking about here. It's about acknowledging the breakdown and the upset. I have a section where I really talk about going into grief over a loved one, but also losing my dog and how heartbreaking that was, and my journey of having joy anyway. And that's where I'm so about this message for people to understand it's not for someday ever. It's for now and now and now. And it's not fake joy. And I want to be very clear about that because, you know, we can all walk around with this fake smile, or we can walk around with like a, hey, I'm dealing with stuff and I'm going to appreciate this moment for the beauty that's happening in between. Like, just thinking about the idea of like when you're at a funeral and having a moment where you laugh and connect with people that maybe you wouldn't have had a connection with. And that you can have joy anyway, even though you're at a funeral, because everyone would say, oh, you know, I should be sad now. This is like, that's the appropriate response. And this is an invitation to appreciate we're all of these things. We are grief and sadness and frustration and anger and upset. And we are also naturally, I believe, innate joy, energy at our core. And that gets lost along the way because we've all been taught play when the work is done. That joy has to be something achieved. And any successful person can tell you that just getting the car, the house, the bank account, the whatever, the numbers in your business, that's not what creates the joy.
Yeah.
Certainly those are nice, but that's not going to sustain the joy.
No.
And that's where I definitely get into the difference between joy and happiness inside of the book. And really acknowledging what the difference is. But this message is really about an invitation to be all of you and to let that joy that wants to shine through and not make it a reward. You don't have to earn your joy, people. You get to have it here and now. And this is one of the things I love about you, Tiffany. You're so great about laughing at funk. And you're so great about okay, and owning you. By the way, I will give you a little insight. For me, joy is an acronym of just own you. And I've always appreciated that about you, Tiffany, that you're owning your new message and path of childless, child-free women by choice and all these things. And I just so honor that. But you have this beautiful, authentic smile because you are owning who you are and the message and what you bring to this world. And that's what I have in this book is an encouragement to not push away the challenges and not push away the joy to someday. It's having that and.
Love it. Love it. Jan, I would love to have you on for hours and hours and explore and talk and all of this. However, it is International Joy Day. It is your book launch day. I know you have a ton of stuff going on. Y'all, as you're watching this, go take advantage. It's only 99 cents, less than $1. Seriously, to get this. And to me, it's always just about what's that one thing that I can take away. And so I think there's going to be a plethora of things that you could take away and utilize to create a little bit more or a lot more joy in your life. And of all of the things that are going on, especially in the world today, everybody's like, nah, no.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Like, my joy was, let me go cut a flower from the flowers I'm growing for the butterflies in the backyard because my dogs like to chase the butterflies. And y'all, there are no butterflies being harmed. They don't get that low to the ground. They are not going to be eaten by my dogs. They're this big. But the dogs love to chase them. The squirrels in the backyard tease. They mock my dogs. Like, I've got the video of them mocking my dogs. And I'm like, let me bring joy because they like to chase them. I think it's funny. Like, it doesn't have to be big and serious. There's so much in life. And so it's a joy to be able, for 99 cents, get this amazing book, Joy Anyway, because we can't change what's going on in the political scene, what's going on in the world, what's going on, blah, 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 blah. But we can change what's up here and finding joy in those little things. So I'm going to flash up here on the screen one more time. Again, you can find it in the description wherever you are watching this. Click on that link. Go invest 99 cents in yourself because dang it, you're worth it. You probably spent more on your coffee today than that. So go out there and do it. And Jan, before we go, what else do we need to know? Wrap us up.
Wrap us up. Well, go buy the book and then let me know what you think because there is more to come. This is just the beginning of what is possible and what I know I'm here to bring to you all around this joy. So go buy the book and choose joy anyway today and see what magic comes your way.
Y'all, get your joy, 99 cents at the Amazon today. Jan, thank you so much. I hope you have a fabulous International Joy Day. Lots of people getting this book, investing in themselves because, I mean, really, do you want to work with somebody that's like, oh, yeah, this, that, or the Joy Alchemist? Like, we're going to make this happen. It's going to be phenomenal.